Andy, you take over. There you go.
All right. Man, look at all these good-looking people. What's the deal? It's like you're all working out or something. Everybody's muted, so this ain't cool. You can all talk back if you want to. Unmute yourself if you have any questions. So, basically, Courtney and I were talking earlier, and I know a lot of my coaches have kind of really been struggling on really getting the value of the challenge pack out up front. The biggest thing I think we all need to learn how to do is we're really selling we're selling them their results. We're selling them the end product, not the product itself. And you have to sell the value of what they're going to get besides just a program or just Shakeology. Even though those are some really, they're rock star tools to get people there, but showing the value of everything. Right now, for me, a big one has been sharing the live stream that's going to be going live tomorrow.
Guys, he's pulling his pants down.
All right. Hey, listen, if you have a whole lot of background noise going on, I need it to go away because we can't hear with all that. So you got to figure out how to mute yourself if you have a whole lot of noise going on.
All right. Anyways, what I was saying, I've been really stressing the live stream and what's going live, because in the challenge pack, when they keep that VIP membership, they're going to have, years worth of workouts to be doing for like pennies. Nothing. But one really cool thing, and Marianne made an awesome post in Destined for Greatness today. I don't know if you guys seen it or not, but I'm going to read it to you because I don't know if everybody, raise your hand if you have a success partner. Do you have a success partner? Awesome. That's awesome. Okay, because that's, probably, and that's been huge for me, is having, other people bounce stuff off. And I'm success partners with somebody who is very different than me, which actually benefits me. It helps me. It brings a different dynamic to the way I look at things. Marianne, Shannon Trammell, my wife, and a couple others, we kind of work together. We have our own little closed group. We call it the GoPro group. That's kind of how it got started. We were going through GoPro together. So we kind of just formed this nice little team together, But that's something me and Marianne's been talking a lot about, is showing the value of what it is we're doing. But she made this post in Destined for Greatness today. If you didn't see it, I'm going to read it to you right quick. It says, people don't want to buy a drill. They don't want to buy a refrigerator or a water heater. They don't want to buy an expensive SUV. What they want is a 1/4-inch hole in the wall, a cold drink, a hot and reliable shower, and a comfortable vehicle that makes them feel safe. Lead with the benefits of what we have to offer here, not the products. That's huge. When you're inviting to somebody and you explain to them, I made a video and I shared it the other day. I don't know if everybody saw it or not, but it's really talking about forming that invite. And, very rarely do everybody's had that one person that just comes right out after you make a post and says, how much, right? Have you had that? They just immediately want to know exactly how much it is. So when that happens, the first thing I do to that person when I get a message that says, how much? I just like, well, hey, hi, if I don't know that person personally, I introduce myself and I ask them a little bit about themselves. It totally changes they realize that they were kind of a rude butt just by doing that. It really flips a switch in them to open up to conversation. So when they do that and they're interested in a certain product, if they're like, for me, it's like I'm just kind of learning how to read people better just the more I do this. When somebody jumps right out and they're worried about how much it is right off the bat, one question I ask is, Are you worried about the cost, or are you worried about the price? Because the cost is the work you're going to have to put into it versus what it's going to actually cost you in cash money to have the tools to get what you want. So if they're automatically worried about the cost versus the price, the work that's going to go into it, you know, because a lot of people will spend a lot of money to set something on the shelf and never touch it, which makes no sense to me, but people do it all the time. But aside from that, you know, I go right into finding out what their goal is before I tell them the price, before I tell them what it is they're, you know, what it's about. I don't just go spilling a lot about the product itself. I am getting them to look long-term at the vision of who they want to be. If I can sell them the vision of who they want to be, they don't care what they're paying for. They're paying for the vision. They're paying for their future self. They're paying for their end result. So $140 to, you know, for a challenge pack in Shakeology to be down 30 pounds to fit in that wedding dress again, or that bikini for the vacation, or anything like that, that's pennies to those people once they see the vision of where they're going. What I do in that process is I ask them what their goals are. Once I have a specific goal that they've given me, I ask them then, how will you feel once you hit that goal? And what would you do more of? You know, what's something that you're not doing now that you would love to do that's keeping you back because of where you are right now? What that does for the person is getting them to literally visualize the end result of reaching that goal. So once I get their mind there and they tell me what it is, that's when I say, awesome. That's awesome, because that's your why. That's what is going to fuel you, keep you motivated, and keep you going when you don't feel those things. When you're having a bad day, or when that chocolate cake comes at you, that's going to be your why. And then I ask them to do one more thing. Again, I haven't even mentioned a product. I may have made a post about the Ultimate Reset like I did the other day. I've sold more 21-day fix packages by that post. Nobody's bought the reset, which is funny. It doesn't really tie to what their goals are. A lot of people, you know, they don't want to take pills or a supplement. They're actually interested in doing some of the work. So once I have their goal and I have that vision created for them, and they've told me, you know, what it is that they want to do, and I have them do one more thing, and that's write it down. But I ask them to write it down in present tense, as though they've already achieved that vision. They've already achieved the goal that they want for themselves. They've already achieved, you know, fitting into that bikini, or, you know, being that example for their kids, or whatever it is. I have them create that in their mind. And then I have them write it down in present tense, and I tell them, stick it on your bathroom mirror, on your refrigerator, on your front door, some place that you're going to see it every single day. That's going to be your reminder to do this and stick to it, to see it through. So I've already got them. I've already sold that person the vision of their future self. They already trust me just by taking them through that process, that I'm the guy that's going to help them get there. Now all they need to do is, and the question I usually get is, okay, what do I got to do to start? You know, send me the link. How do I get going? Then I got to show them the product, or find a product that's going to help them get their goals, because it may not be 21-day fix. It may not be the Ultimate Reset. It may be P90. It may be X3. You know, I'll ask them a couple more questions about their fitness level, you know, and their eating habits. If they've never heard of a Shakeology, I may send them a link that I have on my own website that I made. Or if you don't have something like that, just share like a third-party tool, like a YouTube video, like the Shakeology Fields video is a really good one when you're sharing Shakeology. I like that video. It's really informative on the ingredients, which is, you know, sells more than you know, just a filler shake or something. You know, it really lets them know what it is. But aside from that, you know, it's the challenge pack is definitely, we all know that that's the best for everybody. You know, obviously it's best for you, but it's ultimately best for the customer. They get so much more for a lot less. They save a lot of money. Plus, there's so many more options after they've purchased the challenge pack. You know, if they're 3 weeks into the challenge group and they're making a killing and they're loving this and they're interested in becoming a coach, it's then free. So I always share that up front. After they've committed to buying the challenge pack, I'll open it up and let them know that there's a coaching option too. That if they, you know, with the challenge pack, you know, and I may mention right off the bat, you know, this is something to keep in mind for future reference. After you've bought a challenge pack, you can become a coach for free if this is something you choose to want to do on yourself and help others along the way. So I've already planted that seed. One other thing I'll do once I finish up that sale or whatever, I may ask, and I've been kind of lacking at this, and I thought about this earlier today because I haven't done this in a while, which I need to continue to remember to do. Is that's ask them, you know, as your coach, you know, if I see you disappear and not check in for, you know, 3, 4 to 5 days, do you want me to reach out to you? Do you want me to keep you accountable, and how do you want me to do that? That opens the door for communication, and that it's okay for me to, you know, poke them in the butt or whatever, send them a freaking message and say, you know, where you been? What's going on? You know, you fallen off the wagon already or what? You know, because some people like that accountability and want it, and some people are just absolutely intimidated by it. So it kind of just depends on the person. But that's what I asked them. You know, how do they want me to address that? You want me to just back off and leave you alone? I will. I don't care, you know, because this is your future. But let's see. You know, making a list of what the challenge pack comes with, you know, it is probably just having that ingrained into your psyche, I guess, is probably best when you're sharing with anybody about it. But like Jason, earlier today, you know, he mentioned to me, he said he had somebody interested in Shakeology. That's all they wanted information on. If you completely sell somebody on the idea of starting Shakeology, $10 more, you can get the challenge pack. Whether you use the workouts or not, it's $10. You get 2 points, and they have a workout program to start whenever they're ready. So, I mean, that's kind of an obvious no-brainer to at least present that option to them, you know, and explaining the value again to that person, you know, based on their goals or whatever. But I really don't have a whole lot other than that. I know I go really fast, and I get confusing, and I go down rabbit trails and stuff. But does anybody have any questions or anything they want to add or throw in here? Because I know you guys have some awesome stuff and value to throw out there too, and we can all learn from each other. So if anybody's got anything, just unmute and shout it out.
I want to add to it. I'm actually pulling up a slide that I read today, and I was like, dang, that's good. Let me find it. Find it. Now I can't find it. Anyway, it was talking about the importance of challenge packs and Success Club points. And not only is it the quickest way to build your business, all right, it's a constant, here it is. It's a constant pipeline of customers and coaches. When someone signs on with a challenge pack, they're getting the full benefit of all of it, just like Andy said. They're getting a fitness program, yes. They're getting Shakeology, yes. They're getting your support, yes. They're getting access to your challenge groups. They're getting the club membership, like he was talking about, that's going to, with on demand, is just going to have so much at their fingertips. With all of that support and accountability and resource, that helps people to not only reach their goals, but it does push them towards the coaching aspect. It if you require I feel like if you require a challenge pack purchase to get into your challenge groups, not only do they see the value in you and the product, it also gives you an opportunity to constantly introduce new products, which then builds the interest in the company and the business and so on and so forth. Also, I feel like people who jump full in with a challenge pack have more of a chance to get their desired results than if they choose one or the other. Not jumping in full on gives them that cushion of fear and excuse, I feel like. It is an investment, and I refer to it as an investment all the time. But it's an investment in your future. It's an investment in your health, and an investment creates a return. What are they getting for their investment? They're getting, whatever their goals are. If they're willing to make that investment, then you're going to do everything you can to, get them their return, their health, their energy, weight loss, whatever it is that they have told you that they want, and that's why they're interested in doing this. If they don't jump in full force, then you can't. If they're not fully committed to investing in themselves, then I don't feel like I can fully commit to really help you reach your goals. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. And then on the flip side of it, I know it's people, not points, but challenge packs equals Success Club points, equal business building, equals trips, recognition, and the growth of your business. Anytime that anyone is interested in one or the other, always give them the option of both. When you run challenge groups that require a challenge pack purchase, it is more incentive for them to join. And I know that puts that fear mentality. Well, what if they don't want to, or what if they, go with somebody else, or what if they can't afford it? People can afford it. If they're reaching out to you, they can afford it.
If they have a cell phone, they can afford it.
Right. If you have a cell phone, you can afford it. If you're going out to eat and you see that all over their Facebook, they can afford it. They're using price as an objection and an excuse. I charged mine on a credit card for the whole forever. Once I lost my job and I wanted to keep it, we charged it on a credit card. We can't afford it either. Two orders we charged on a credit card. So, you can't tell me you can't afford it, because if you want it, and if it's something that it will help you, and the fact that it can turn into a money-making business opportunity to create financial freedom for your family, price is an excuse, period. I know that there are people who are, single parents who, work all the time, yada, yada. I've heard every scenario, and they're barely scraping by to pay their bills. Okay, well, this is the opportunity for you to change that for you and your family.
Hey, Courtney, can I ask a question?
Yes, absolutely.
Hey, so the phrase that comes to mind for me is, why buy the cow when you can have the milk for free? And I feel like I've done that with my own business, because I've been running now many challenge groups for 8 months, but I've never required challenge packs. But what I feel like I've done inadvertently is made myself the product instead of Beachbody and their programs. And so, I've kind of got some confusion about where I should go from here, because I'm offering people all this support, and lots of my, I've held lots of really successful groups and helped lots of people, both, customers and non-customers, lose weight and have success. But I've never run a group where I required challenge packs. But I'm at a point now where I think I want to do that for this next month. I just wonder if you have any advice about that, since I've built up this kind of loyal, base of people that now expect me to kind of run these groups without making any requirements like that.
Absolutely. I did it my whole first year. The whole first year of my business, I ran free groups. Like, if you wanted in, come in. You didn't have to have any, there was no requirements. But like you, I got tired. I got tired of it. My business wasn't growing. I wasn't hitting Success Club. I felt that I had put my value out there enough, it's time for me to get it in return. And then also something clicked in my head that said, I got my results with Beachbody. I can't help you any other way. You know, I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a fitness expert. Like, I'm not any of that. If you want to get the results that I got, then you need to get them the way I got them. So, you know, if you want me to continue to help you, then you have to go in 100% and commit to a Beachbody fitness program and Shakeology to enter my groups. And I have yet to have, you know, not hit Success Club.
Yeah, is that Billy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, skin in the game is a huge deal. You know, when, you know, I actually had somebody who was a pretty good friend when I first kind of started this, asked me if I would burn the P90X DVDs off for him. You know, and there's always somebody that, you know, I have 20 different programs laying in there on the shelf. I've had people call and message me and ask if they can borrow one. And I tell them no. And here's why. You know, we'll just every one of you put yourself in this position. If you were to rent a Ferrari for the weekend, would you treat it the same way had you went out, worked your butt off, and paid for that Ferrari? You would treat that car completely different, knowing that it's just going to go back. And you probably wouldn't take care of it the way you should. You'd probably hot rod the crap out of it. And it's not that I'm worried about my DVDs or anything getting tore up. What I'm saying is you won't value it the way it should be valued and put it into place the way it needs to be put in place because you got no skin in the game, you know? But actually, Courtney's got an excellent event invite template that you could use, Billy, and that's something that I would suggest you doing is maybe creating an event, definitely inviting everybody to that event that's been in any of your groups to take it to the next level. Buy a challenge pack, commit, and let's really blow this out of the water.
Also, as your group is ending this month, you can go ahead and start letting your people know that, you know, beginning in March, you are going to require the use of a Beachbody fitness program and Shakeology to be in your groups. You know, thank them for always signing up. Thank them for always being there. I hope that you were able to get something from me. I hope that I was able to help you. You know, if you want to continue to receive my help, you are going to have to invest in a challenge pack. You know, if you're unable to do that, I run a new group every single month, and you're welcome to join at any time.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
Yeah.
One other thing is, like, and I know, like, Brandy Botts did this for a long time. She started with a free group, and she's continued to keep that free group open and continually add people into that group who maybe aren't ready to buy a challenge pack yet or hasn't really fully committed. And that's like her own personal bank of people who could eventually buy a challenge pack from, and she still adds value to that group, even though it's free. They don't get anything. She may post like a snippet of her workout video and throw it in that group, something that they could do where they could do a squat challenge or, you know, anything like that. It's like she's building this solid bank of people in this one group. The only requirement that I don't know if she does this or not, but that I think I would do was, I think if you were going to require anybody to be in that group, at least set them up right off the bat with a free Team Beachbody membership. That way, no matter what in the future, if they do decide to join up or sign something or just randomly run out and buy Shakeology or something, you'll at least
and I do that with the free accounts. And I've had so many people, that started off as non-customers that have come over and bought programs and are now, have Shakeology HD going. So, I've definitely had some benefits. I just don't know. I feel like there are a lot of people that are just sitting back, letting me do a lot of the work and, kind of settling for that. And so they, like you said, they have no skin in on the game. So at the end of the challenge, if they don't lose any weight or they quit, they're not out anything.
Right.
Well, thank y'all.
I used to give out all my recipes all the time to anybody and everybody who wanted them. I would email meal plans to everybody, but doing all of that free stuff to everyone was decreasing my value as a coach. They're getting all my coaching without anything. I'm a Beachbody coach. I That's like me packing up all my food, going to a restaurant and expecting them to cook it for me and the waiter to wait on me. They would be like, get the hell out. Like, no. That's the same thing. I feel the same way about borrowed products. Oh, well, I got a bag of Shakeology from a friend, and then my cousin had T25. Can I get in your group? No, because that's the same thing. You brought your food to my restaurant, but you want me to cook it and refill your drink? Are you tipping?
Yeah.
No.
Again, is it the price or the cost? You know?
Right. I mean, yes, I did say that all you had to have was a fitness program and Shakeology, but it has to be, you have to be my customer to be in my groups. Like, I'm sorry. Because that's
I love
huge.
it.
That's where the whole concept of forming that person and selling, you are the in-between person to sell that person the future vision of themselves. If you can make a professional move into doing that in this business, they're going to want to come to you. They're not only going to want to come to you, but they're going to send you referrals. Since I've really started focusing and forming people that way during my invites, over, I think, 90% of my recent Success Club points have been referrals from past customers.
Wow. Wow.
So, I mean, that's really huge because that gains trust. And what that also gains is repeat customers. They want to be in the next group. Whether they were active in the last one or not, they're like, oh, you're starting a new group. I want in. I want to jump back in or do this again or try it again. People from months ago do that. So, and I'm cool with that.
And then it also comes down to like using your Facebook. Create your value, the value of you as a coach through your Facebook, through consistency and sharing your journey. That shows your credibility to help these people. Talk about the struggles and, how mentally it was difficult for you to go through this. Talk about the things that is going to go into these people's heads and focus on their fears, because that's what it is. It's all fear of failure, fear it's going to waste my money, fear it's going to be just another, failure, or I've tried so many things. My husband won't let me spend the money on this, whatever. But when they buy that, they're buying you. It's not the product, because there's tons of products they can go buy. They're buying you. So if you're not making yourself valuable through your Facebook, then they're not going to be as apt to jump in with that money if they don't feel that you're going to be consistently helping. So if you're occasionally posting about your workouts or, hey, I'm drinking my Shakeology or whatever, but then you disappear for a few, weeks or whatever, or it's just a whole bunch of shared information that has nothing to do with what you're doing, but then all of a sudden you're back again and you're all about your workouts, you're not a credible source for help. I'm not going to go to you for help if you're not consistently helping yourself. And you may be working out, but if you're not posting about it on Facebook, I as a customer don't know that.
Okay.
We had a lot of people on this call tonight. It's like so many. Love it. All right, questions. I know you guys got to have questions. Hey, who's in my new push group? All right, before I go to bed tonight, there better be a conversation in there. If not, you're out. This is like
I just posted in there. I want feedback.
You'll get it.
Be gentle.
There's a female trying to talk. Who is it?
Oh, it's me.
All right, go ahead, Angela.
Did you see what I just posted in there?
I took the hour off. I did dinner and baths, but I'm about to get back on it here in a little while.
That conversation from earlier, she just messaged me back and said that, because she asked me how much it was, and because I had already had the conversation with her, she wants to lose the weight. And she's like, I just don't really want to spend the money. And she goes, oh, that's not that much at all. I would love to join a group. How do I order it? So I told her to give me her email, and I'm just waiting for her with questions.
Okay, there you go. Can't be afraid of these people. You can't be afraid of their nose.
Go for the nose.
Go for the nose. If you want to respond in a way, if your initial thought is respond this way, unless it's completely offensive. If your initial thought is I should respond to that, and then you go, oh, well, I don't want to offend them, or I don't want them to think that I'm trying to be pushy. They came to you for help. So if that's your response, that's usually the best response.
I literally just added that girl maybe 4 days ago. And she messaged me 2 days later. So, mutual friend of somebody else. I have no idea who she is.
Breaking up, kind of, Angela. That's why I have a weird face. All right. Anybody else? Questions about anything? Am I breaking up? And that whole push group, all of that can be done in our coach group. If you ever have a conversation you're not sure about, am I breaking up? Oh, okay. If you ever have a conversation that you're not sure about, post it. That's what Inspired Belief is there for. If you have amazing things that you're doing, like the birthday PMing that's sparking all this interest, post that. Share those things. That group is for all of you guys, not for just me and Andy to feed a bunch of information into. Utilize it. Because I'm only going to have that little push group open for a little while because I can only go through so many conversations. But all of that can be done in our coach group.
Yeah, that's where everybody can get value from it. Everybody. I mean, like I said, I learn stuff from everybody all the time. It's like we don't have all the answers either. You know, if you guys come across something that's working for you, by all means, I'm all about learning to share it.
But definitely, one of the things I've noticed so far in the conversations is a lot of not asking about goals or quick answers. Just because these people message you doesn't mean you have to respond immediately. I'm not going to call anybody's names. They don't even appear on here anyway. Answer the message while on a date with her husband. Like, no, that waits till tomorrow. But then you were so eager to answer, you didn't have a good chance to answer it the way I feel like it could have been answered. Take your time. I know that there's been times where I have gotten a message and I immediately respond, but it's not as good of an answer had I waited till the next day, like during my business hours, to answer it. You know, ask these people about their goals, because that's going to be the quickest way around a money objection. Is anyone getting any other objections other than financial? No, it's always financial.
Well, there's like 1 million tax return millionaires out there, so there's no reason why anybody can't, you know, for the average person, can't afford it. So, you know, like I said, if they can walk an $800 iPhone or something, they can afford a challenge pack. It's just a matter of priorities. And I've told people that, you know, I've been that bold with certain people after the conversation has gone on for months, and they still object to a $140 challenge pack. I'm like, I don't want to hear it. You know, you don't want the result that bad. Then it's not worth it to you. You know, or I've had some people message me, well, I'm going to try these liquid drops instead first. Good luck with that. Come back when you're done and you're still 30 pounds overweight and haven't reached your goals. You know, I mean, I hate to be that kind of person, but, you know, I can be that kind of person. It's okay, you know, if they really want my help. And, you know, and it's obviously I didn't take the right amount of time the first time to form that people, but some people are just going to be that dead set that it's just too much and I can't swing it. But all that says is they don't want it bad enough. That's it. You're either hungry for it or you're not. And it's just like building this business. You either want to build it or you don't. It's your health and fitness is the exact same way.
Angela said that one of the things she gets is, I'm a mom, I don't have time. Really? Like, that's an excuse. Don't use your children as an excuse. Call them on that. I have no problem saying, don't use your children as an excuse. I'm a mom also. I have 2 children. You know, you do, you call them on it, good, because it is an excuse. And, you know, I can say, I understand excuses. I had them for years. It was when I decided to get over my excuses and quit lying to myself and decide that I'm really ready to do this, that I did it. I'm extremely honest with people. Also, a conversation that I had today with a woman who was from my like page messaged me last night, what's this 21-day thing? We had a very long conversation today, and it ended up her buying the challenge pack, but she gave me every single excuse she could ever come up with, messaged me on my like page, then gave me every excuse she could come up with, and I just flat out told her, you know, you can either do this or not, but I completely understand. I shared a bit of my story. I shared a bit of my struggle. I shared a bit of my fear about it being expensive. I shared my side of it, and then she was like, oh, like, I'm out of excuses. I'll buy it. It's like, okay, great.
Yeah, it's that GoPro Eric Worre book. It's Feel, Felt, Found. If you've never read that book, write those 3 things down, because that's a perfect way to relate to anybody. I don't care if it is a mom. You know, I had a mom today tell me, well, I got a 2 and a 4-year-old. I just can't do it. So, well, I got 4 kids. One's 13, going off, calling his girlfriend on the phone. The other one's pooping her pants next to me while I'm trying to work out. It's life. Don't tell me, you know, I get it. You know, we still make it happen. You know, I understand how you feel. I felt the same way, but here's what I've found. And if you can share your story in that conversation, they will run out of excuses.
I've been getting a lot of just, you know, thank you so much for your message. I really appreciate it. I'm just not interested, but, you know, I'll follow up with you, you know, down the road or something. And they're very sweet about it, and then just end up going to small talk. But I've been getting a lot of that lately.
Good. You're forming relationships.
Right?
People and keep talking to more people.
Okay.
At least you're getting responses. Hello?
Yeah, and that's what I tell them. I say, you know, I just appreciate you messaging me back instead of either ignoring me or forgetting. So just thank you for that.
They'll come back. It's all seeds.
I think the worst thing anybody can do can get like hung up on like just the 2 or 3 people that are interested, you know, waiting for just those 2 or 3 people to buy, and then they don't buy. It's like, you need to, that's why, you know, building that network of contacts, it's like you need to just constantly keep on that. So you just got a bank of people to keep inviting or going back to or following up with. It's like, I'll make 2 or 3 new contacts a day. You know, I may not message them for a few weeks, but I have them on my list. I write down the last time I talked to them, and then I can go back, follow up with that person, or, you know, especially if they commented or asked about a certain product, you know, I may write that down next to their name so I know maybe what to bring up the next time I talk to them. But as long as you're doing that and you're getting that kind of response, that's great. Write their name down in your notebook or whatever it is you do to keep your contacts, you know, and mark down the last time you talked to them and maybe what it was about. But definitely feed those relationships. Just keep those, you know, you don't have to message them daily or anything, but every, you know, go make it. It's like I may spend 2 to 3 hours in a day just going through my friends list, commenting or liking on their pictures just to generate that engagement. And it's definitely worth that time.
Well, and even the not interesteds or no's that I have gotten, as much as a fear of we all have of no, none of them have been rude or offensive or mean. And they've just been very nice, you know, no, thank you. And like, never has that happened yet. Hopefully never, but.
Yeah, those, I've got, you know, it's like, if you think about it, how many times has anybody saying no to you ever just the way, you know, treated you so horribly, it just altered your life in a horrible way, you know, that you didn't just get over it. You know, it's that just very few, probably less than 5. And if there's hundreds of millions of thousands of people out there that we can contact and reach, you know, even if half of those people tell us no, how many of those are going to say yes? You know, there's those handful of royal buttholes that we do come across every now and then are not worth giving up your dreams on. You know, they're the ones that are totally going to miss out on anything in life. And they're the ones that don't get it. They're the ones that don't see it.
Mhm.
They're the ones with the problem. They're the minority, really, not us.
I'll tell you what, at this last Super Saturday, one of the things that changed the way I approach it and really got me fired up was one of the coaches that spoke said something along the lines of, who knows if this person that you invite into the opportunity is the person who's going to become the next, Lindsay Matway or something, who knows? And you never give them a chance to say no, then you're denying them that opportunity. So for me, that was kind of a really cool thing. Or even denying them the opportunity to change their future as far as their health goes. So that emboldened me a little bit. And so since then, I've really been on fire with this whole invite part of the 3 Vitals. So.
Yeah, and if you don't invite them, somebody else will, and then they become that Lindsay Matway or Scotty Hobbs or somebody, and then you're going to be kicking yourself in the butt.
Yeah, well, and another thing that happened to coincide with that training for me was that my very first coach I signed a couple of weeks later, but this person approached me before I even approached him. He said, "Hey, tell me about this coaching thing." And I was like, man, how many people are out there wondering about this, and I'm just being a big wimp about it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hey, I went through the same stuff, Billy. You're singing the same tune stuff that I went through, It's just a growing process, and that's awesome. Once you totally see that what we have completely transforms people's lives, health, finances, for me, I look at it as it's like sharing my faith. It's like,
yeah.
It's the exact same. It's absolutely life-changing. If I'm a believer in it, what kind of crappy believer am I if I'm not sharing that with people? What kind of stingy, how bad do I have to hate people to not share this opportunity with them?
Well, it's funny that you say that, because this being a Beachbody coach has actually made me a better sharer of my faith. So that has nothing to do with this, but.
Right. Yeah, it opens up the firmer beliefs in what it is that makes you a person, of who you are, your identity. Anybody have any more questions? Because I think I'm done.
Yeah.
I got work to do.
I just want to share something if I can. I signed up a friend of mine with the app back in September, and she was ordering a PIO challenge pack. And I lost you. And something came up. The thing is still sitting in the apps, and I have resent it, and we've talked, and then something came up, and in her defense, I'll say some really, really serious stuff came up. And, she really just backburnered it for a while. And we talked again in November, and we chit chat every day. And I've constantly stayed, it made a point of staying present with her through all that. And the end of December was the last time I actually PM'd her about it, just saying, I'm still here when you're ready, just so you know, I still have all your information, and I'll be here whenever you're ready. And she just sent me a message like 5 minutes before this call saying, I'm ready to talk. So I think she's going to probably switch to 21-day fix. I mean, she just laid out everything she wants. She wants a workout that's not more than 30 minutes. She wants a meal plan that she can do. She likes chicken and fish and vegetables and rice. And is there something she could do? She wants something that her husband will like. And she's military and wants to coach. So hang in there.
Yeah. Awesome.
Just hang in there. So that was September. We're looking at, 5 months. And hopefully this is it, So anyway.
Yeah, I listened to a webinar once where there was a guy talking about catching people at like 12 o'clock noon. It's like when they're ready to jump and go at it, it's like a lot of times we catch them at like 6 or 9 o'clock,
Right.
but if you just stay with them, they'll get to straight up noon and they'll hop on that train. So that's awesome.
That's exactly right. I'm pretty happy about it. Now I'll be up until midnight with her because I'm not going to let this pass. That's another thing I just learned was how to respect the momentum. And, sometimes if you let it, like you were saying, Courtney, about me not answering when you're on a date night, and I totally get that. But then there have been those that when I talk to them the next day, they're not, not quite in the mood anymore. So
I've actually said to somebody who's been iffy like that, who sent me a message like I'm in the middle of something, and I'll just tell them, I'm in the middle of something right now.
Right.
Can we talk about this tomorrow? Unless you're going to change your mind tomorrow, then I'll leave it with you right now.
Yes.
Because I'm tired of playing this game with you. Yeah, I actually said that to somebody.
I love that because that has definitely happened, especially those late night ones or they just saw the infomercial or whatever. You gotta catch that emotion and ride it.
Or they just got done finishing off a thing of ice cream sitting on the couch watching.
That's right. Yeah. I've had those.
Sitting there watching The Biggest Loser.
Yes. I did that for years. Ate ice cream while I watched Biggest Loser.
Yeah, you're not alone.
Oh, all right. Just wanted to share. Happy news.
Yeah. I'm with you, Billy. I'm copy and paste. If you say I hadn't screenshotted nothing. I'm copy and paste all of it. Let's see if there's any questions down here. Yeah, I mean, if you got to go, you can go. I mean, we still technically have 10 more minutes, but I mean, if you're just, if you don't really have any questions, and you got stuff to do, you can go ahead and go. But I know that, like I'm FOMO, like fear of missing out. So I'll hang on to the very last person signs out. So who's going to switch over to the challenge pack only groups? Yeah. So that's 3. All right. Someone who is not good, Angela. Someone who is not. Tell me your fear. Why? What are you afraid of? Tanya just did.
I'm going to do it, but I can tell you what fear I have.
Yeah.
We talk all the time about the relationships that we build with these people, and I'm afraid that people are going to lose trust in me, like that really I care more about their health and fitness than I do about the cell, because I really do care more about their health and fitness, and I spend hours helping people figure out food journals and figure out how to nail their whatever it is they're doing, whether they're doing a program or not, and so I feel like I might lose a bit of of that trust. So I don't know.
How would you feel saying that to them? I've decided from a business standpoint to, transition my groups into, challenge pack required groups, however you want to word that. And then just tell them, I care about you and I fear, losing your trust. I fear losing our friendship. But from a business standpoint, this is something I have to do. And actually having that conversation with them.
Yeah, I'm okay with that, and I think that really I have a legitimate reason too. It's that and most of them know this already. I'm a father of 6 kids, so I can't neglect my family to hold people's hands that aren't serious about making a change. And so I think people respect my time because I have built those relationships. But I've just given so freely at this point. I sit up here in my little corner of my room working from 8 o'clock to 1 o'clock in the morning most nights. So, which I don't mind doing. I love helping these people, but I think that I have a legitimate reason, and if I'm honest with that I will maybe earn more respect.
Yep.
Absolutely, Billy. That's your why. They're if like I said, if they have no skin in the game, and you got 6 mouths to feed, including your own, they're not going to pick up the slack if you weren't there. You got to do it. That's your vision. That's your why. You are your own little unit, that family, even though, these relationships are awesome, but it's like, taking your family into the direction you want to go, Everybody else, you don't have to answer to those people. There's not, I'm not saying just be rude or anything, but it's like, you don't have to justify to them making this move or that it's right for you. You may lose a handful of people, but the people who respect you and see what you're doing for your family, they're going to follow you, man. And they're going to totally respect that and go with it.
Yeah. And I feel like the ones who really want it it's like with children, when they're ready to potty train, readiness is a big thing. And, I feel like they will eventually come back to me.
Yeah. When they start seeing people getting killer results with it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Exactly. And then the free bank people is a brilliant idea. You do have to take into consideration that you'll be running, 2 groups and one that you'll give more to than the other. But it's like, I already run 2 groups every month, plus the coach groups and all the other stuff. It's like, I just can't do it anymore. But the bank is a beautiful idea if you want to, if you want to put the time and energy into that. Alternating. Yeah, I mean, I was reading about doing the plank challenge or alternating with the videos or a move each day. Yeah, all of those free things. Just don't give your full coaching self to the free group, because then there's nothing for them to buy into. If they're getting the milk for free, there's no reason to buy the cow. If you're giving them everything, then what is it? Like, I used to give out all my recipes on my Facebook, and then it's like, no, I'm not doing that anymore.
So I'm brainstorming now. I'm thinking in a free group about making it more, instead of like leader and followers, challengers, making it more of a group thing. Like everybody, once a day post. We all learn from each other. Everybody once a day post, an exercise, a post exercise like a plank or another move, like Kelsey said, or everybody post one recipe that you found, or a tip or trick or motivation or something. And as long as everybody's posting one thing every day, there's going to be plenty to help motivate, I think. But it's just getting people to really, but it's like anything in life. The more you give, the more you get. And if they really want to become involved in that, I think that takes a lot of the heat off the coach per se. What do you think?
I like that. And then the people who do commit to posting consistently every day, those are the ones that would be more apt to do more and would be more apt to jump in. Absolutely.
Okay. I think it's probably the way I'll go.
And if you find out something that works, share it in the group so everybody else can do it too.
I will.
And then there's Jatana Jackson. She does free events. You know how we run like free clean eating groups and we put everybody into this free clean eating group and then only the people in the group get the information? She does free events and runs the entire thing on a public event post, so that everyone who says that they're going to come to her free clean eating event, and she does it for 3 to 5 days, and each day she gives information on clean eating or whatever the topic is, and then as people see it, she's like, be sure to friend request me, or be sure to whatever for, be my friend, so that we can get more tips. That expands her market. She shows her value as a coach. And then not only the people who RSVP'd the event see the stuff, every time they comment on the event stuff, their friends are seeing it. And then it's like, oh, what is this thing that you're doing? I can click on it and be a part of it too. And all the while, she's like, be sure to add me as a friend, or sending these people friend requests.
I've done that before.
That's an option too. I thought I'd put that in the files. If I haven't, I will. Yeah, that's a thing to do as well, to get people in and to show your value as a coach. But if you run the events, I've seen some bad events run, and it didn't make the people look like good coaches, and it kind of backfired. So if you're going to do it, make sure you have your information that you want to share set up every day. Don't do it on the fly. Like, make sure you know what you're talking about. Make sure that what you're doing with these people is showing your value as a coach. It's all about confidence. The more confident you come across, the more people are going to want to stand behind you and, you know, have you lead them. All right. One more minute. Who wants to get the last thing in? Not everybody speak at once.
Well, I love all you guys. You guys are awesome. You're all beautiful.
We love you, Andy.
I love you, Billy.
Mugs.
Oh, goodness. All right. Well, I'm going to go do some family time, and then I'm going to hop back on this pushers group. I think I may have bitten off more than I can chew. But I'm going to do my best to knock through everybody. And
Waiting for your picture.
I love you guys, and I believe in you all. And see you next week.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Bye, you too.
Bye.